But like me and Megan and Taylor are all cousins too, so we've always known each other. Yeah, we've always known each other and our families really well. But well, some of us, we played softball together. We played soccer together. We've played elementary basketball together. Club volleyball when we were younger together. And basketball, we really had to come together more as like a team. And like when we were still getting to know ourselves as like athletes instead of just like messing around as friends, like it kind of caused like a riot with our coaches. Like I just remember like a couple practices. Like we were supposed to be in here shooting around while they were doing other stuff in the gym, and like our elementary coach would walk in here and just whip us out because we'd be like messing around with cones and like throwing balls at each other and stuff like that.
I just remember when the girls were younger, and my daughter Claire was a year ahead of them, and I'm like, okay, we're going to get these girls together and we're going to start playing volleyball together, because Claire loved it, but she had a small class of girls, and these guys had a nice class of girls, and we just, they started very young, and we just, they found out that they were pretty good at it at a young age, and they just stuck with it.
So when did you see the potential in these girls? Right away, or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I remember taking Jackie when she was maybe in 3rd grade. We went to a volleyball camp in Hastings, and I don't know if she even remembers it. And I don't know if
I do.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
And they had Jackie serving, and her hand was doing all this crazy stuff. And by then, obviously Jackie became one of the best servers. And that's one of the stories I tell people when they're getting their daughter into volleyball. They're like, well, she can't do this and she can't do this. And I said, you should have seen Jackie Luzum when she was in 3rd grade. And then she becomes one of the best hitters in the state, one of the best servers in the state. And it just takes time, and it takes a lot of effort. You can't expect to be the best right away with anybody.
How much of growing up together, playing club volleyball, lead to what you were able to accomplish in high school? As far as the leadership point, all you seniors leading, how many girls can sit here and say for 4 years we put a trophy in the case for all 4 years?
Well, I think in club, since it was in our off season and we always had like other sports going on at the same time, we definitely had a lot of rough moments at club. And I think that kind of showed us like how low we can go, but we also had good times, so how like good we can play, and it just showed us like
it's more like relaxed.
Yeah,
it's more of a fun time than that.
Yeah, and it showed us like what not to do. And it just gave us a better experience with different like teams and different like levels of play.
We'll get a little more serious here. What's the most significant memory you'll take away from your time at Exeter-Milligan, other than the state championships or the runner-up trophy?
Well, I think that, like we always say, our community support is amazing. Not even just in sports, but like with everything. Everybody supports anything we do, and they're so nice about everything. And they'll talk to you during even if you don't know them, come to you and talk to you when they see you and say congratulations on anything. And it's just amazing. Everybody's so nice.
I'm gonna miss the bus rides, like the long bus rides. Just talking or planning things or joking around. Everything else that happens on there.
And you can't use your answer.
I'm gonna miss all the people. Everybody just like accepting you and telling you good job.
Exeter-Milligan kind of one big family.
Yeah, definitely.
Jennifer?
I'm going to miss just being with the people we've known our whole lives. Like, you go to college, you meet new friends, but it's not the same because you haven't known them since you were little.
Jackie?
I'm going to miss, like, even in, like, my younger years, like freshman, sophomore, junior year, like, just, like, the pre-gaming, like, in the locker room and just, like, getting pumped up and listening to music and just doing whatever you want, just like messing around. And then like before we go out on the court, just like the lights and just seeing that like all your friends and your family and the whole community arrive, and then just like getting ready, just that feeling. Yeah, just that feeling.
I asked your coach to come up with some things to describe each of you. One is an athlete, and one is a person. And then one to describe you as a team. So I'm going to allow her to go ahead and tell you what she came up with.
Okay, well, I gave this a lot of thought. And as a person, my one word for Taylor would be happy. And you guys can agree or disagree.
I agree.
For Megan, I chose focused as a person. For Jackie, I couldn't come up with a word, and it'll be interesting. You'd be interested to know that when I ask the students about this, they think that Jackie's scary.
Oh yeah.
But my word for Jackie as a person is more, not serious, but she's very driven and intense. Melinda, my word as a person is spirited. Melinda could have been a cheerleader.
Oh yeah.
She could have been. She's very positive and spirited. So my word for Melinda was spirited. And for Jen, my word as a person is smart.
Yeah.
And maybe a little shy.
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
Do you guys all agree with those
Am I okay?
evaluations by your coach?
Yeah, scared.
And their words for them as athletes are similar, but Taylor is a very unselfish athlete. She's a very giving, team-oriented player. For Megan, she is a leader on and off the court. Jackie, along with being intense, she's a very fierce competitor. And when Jackie decides she's going to play hard, she does. Jen, as an athlete, that's the same word I chose before, is a very smart athlete. She plays to her strengths. And Melinda, as an athlete, is just fun. She's out there for the fun.
So we'll go back to last year. After you lost to Humphrey, how much did that motivate you to go after that one right there?
Completely. A lot. Because second place to us after we'd won it was a disappointment. Like, we felt like we didn't live up to what we should have. We disappointed the community, like not only ourselves but everyone. And looking back, like that's really sad to say that we were disappointed with second, but we were. And we knew that with such a strong core coming back, we could get back to the top and win it all, avenge our loss.
And I know it sounds really cliche, but losing definitely made us a lot better because this year in state, the whole team, we knew what it felt like to lose, to come out short. And I think that's what helped us win that first round when it was like so close towards the end there.
But how do you know she's mad? I mean, if you look over at her, is she going to be scowling at you?
I'd say there's two phases. Either she's screaming at you when you obviously know it, or she's completely stunned, like silent, like
Yeah,
doesn't know what to say.
In math,
So when they are struggling, what's one of the things that you use to try to pick them up or to motivate them?
I'd say like if we're struggling a lot of time, like it's mental, like we're hurting ourselves. That you like tell us to relax, like or like just think about it. Yeah.
Well, like for example, this year when we were playing Howell's Dodge, and it was a tight match, and we were playing our heads off. Taylor was beating herself up because she wasn't blocking I can't remember her name, Casey Hyman. And we just, at one of the timeouts, I looked at all the girls, and we looked at Taylor, and I said, Taylor, is it your job to block? And I said that to the girls, and they said, no, we need you. I mean, her job, she needed to focus on what she needed to do to help us win. You know what I mean? And she was beating herself up for the wrong thing. So sometimes timeouts were just used to settle people down. In the state finals, Jackie was struggling. And I just sat her down and I said, Jackie, who's the best hitter on this team? And she goes, well, me. I go, well, then go out and show. Well, go out and show everybody that you're the best hitter on this team. You know? And I mean, a lot of times we didn't say a lot of things. We didn't say much in timeouts. Usually the girls were talking to each other. And they knew if I had something to say to them, I would say it.
One more question. What would be your advice to younger athletes who aspire like you say, to be like you guys, what would be your advice to them, you know, to attain what you guys were able to attain?
I'd say like prove people wrong.
Yeah.
Like everyone that doubted us, that was fuel, like completely. Anybody that said we couldn't do something, we just wanted to prove wrong.
And don't just expect it to be handed to you.
Yeah.
You have to work to get there.
And I would say don't take any like moments for granted, like, because like I think people that like have already like graduated and missed their chance at state and stuff like that know like what it feels like, because like a lot of older people have came up to me and like, wow, that's amazing, like I wish I would have done that, or this won't happen again for 40 years and stuff like that. But like the younger kids are just like, oh, they made the state. Like I was like that too, so just I wouldn't take it for granted like at all, just soak everything in.
I would just tell them to work hard, like Megan said, and when they are working to get better, and if a coach like corrects them on something, I would tell them to realize that the coach is saying that because they see potential, not to put them down. Because I think sometimes young kids think that they're bad when a coach corrects them, and then they kind of give up. So I would say making a positive attitude.
Well, and one of our mottos this year was no excuses, no regrets. But, you know, when you think about the younger kids coming up and what you would say to them, you know, I can't tell you how much time these girls have put in. And they don't really recognize how much time they've put in. They're not giving themselves credit. They've played every sport. They've played volleyball regular season, club ball. It does take a lot of work, and they wouldn't be sitting here if they hadn't done all that. I mean, I think these girls don't give themselves credit for that. But the younger generation needs to recognize that they have to work for it. And if they don't work for it, then they can't make excuses if they don't have this chance.